Welcome to our first episode of Diving Reality the Show. We're gonna interview Alessandra Figari. Alessandra Figari is from Italy. She's been living in Playa del Carmen for more than 20 years. She's a specialized diver. She is a tech diver. She can use rebreather. She's a course director, and also she's instructor trainer for cave diving. At the age of 40, she decided to make a big change in her life. She changed her career. She moved away from home in Italy to live in a new country, Mexico. She changed her career because she decided to live better. She chose scuba diving for a career change in her life. Welcome to Diving Reality, the show.
It's crazy. And that's why I became a cave diver anyway. Many years ago, when I was still a kid, I wanted always to work with dolphins. Not in the aquarium. Like to make them jump. But I was interested on the communication, how was the interaction between them. So basically I read everything I could at the time about the dolphins. And so when I was 18, I wanted to do oceanography, but I was coming from a very conservative father and mother. So they told me, where do you do oceanography or marine biology? Because they were the two I wanted to do. And I said, well, England or Hawaii. And they said, find something in Italy. And so I tried to do biology, because in Milano there was no marine biology. But my father was against, so I paid my first year. I was coming from a linguistic high school. So they told me, you are behind basically 1 year of mathematics and physics. And so I didn't have enough money to lose a year and pay a second year. So I went to my father and said, okay, you won. I'm not gonna do that. And I studied languages, which was good in a way because it allowed me to communicate with a lot of people. And what happened by the end was that I started diving for 10 years, doing Discover Scuba Diving as a customer. And after 9 or 10 years of that, I finally divorced and did my open water course. The reason of the divorce is not that I did my open water course, but my ex-husband was a claustrophobic. So I never did the open water course because I knew he would have never been diving. So when we divorced, I said, fine, now I can do it. And when I did my pool and theory, the owner of the dive shop called me and said, you are a secret shopper. And I was like, no, why? Oh, because the instructor said that you had all hundreds and you're perfect in the pool. I'm like, I've been diving 10 years because I loved everything. So my passion by the end developed in a different way. And after divorcing, I came to Mexico on vacation. I discovered the cenote. And I decided to come back. And I had a relationship with an American cave instructor. And that pushed me to come over here. He came to Italy to pick me up and I decided to come over. Then I broke with him, but I remained. And I became a cave instructor. Probably behind the Bahamas, well, not behind. At the same level of Bahamas and South Sulawesi, they have very beautiful caves. With the formation like ours, probably Bahamas, I have to admit that they're even more gorgeous. But we are probably ranking between the number 2 or 3 for cave diving as far as it's concerned. And I love caves. So for me, is one of the best places. We have Cozumel, that is beautiful, and from Playa with the speedboat, we can easily go there. For teaching, for sure, we have very good conditions. So I believe Playa can be considered one of the places where we can give a good teaching. We can offer cenotes to recreational divers, which is a unique experience. And we can teach cave diving to a level that probably only a few places can have the same. More people or more guys, more instructors, and sometimes I don't see what it should happen. So unfortunately, sometimes I have to do this in order not to upset myself. For me, my approach didn't change. I do the same things that I was doing before, with the same attitude, with the same way of considering safety and making people enjoy what we do.
Your safety awareness has been the same throughout?
Well, you learn more things that can happen, obviously. We were talking before, sometimes not everything goes as you want. Thanks God, if you plan things and you follow what you have planned, you limited a lot the possibility of things going wrong. So you become more aware during the years that the way you have been believing in the way that you're doing things is the correct way. Because fatality happen when you not respect plan, not respect navigation, air consumption, but it's human mistake by the end. So we are responsible of what happens underwater. One of the things is I'm a person that likes to succeed. So I was a manager with a very good position when I left Italy. Just to give you an idea, my mom for 2 years told people I was in vacation because she couldn't believe that I was leaving such a position to start something completely new. So when I came here, I decided to become first a dive master. Then I saw a picture on this book, exactly on the Cenote Riviera Maya.
Wow, okay.
And I saw a picture of the Chinese garden. And I told my friends, I want to see this. And they said, well, in order to see this, you have to become a cave instructor. Well, a cave diver, sorry. And I said, okay, fine. So I did the cave course. And then when I did my dive master, I already started guiding and doing things. I already knew I wanted to become an instructor. So I already started seeing what I needed to become an instructor. I started guiding cenotes as a dive master, and then when I did my instructor, I came out of there and I said, okay, what is my next step? Course director. So I became a course director within the 4 years, so that's what you needed to wait from instructor to course director. So I planned everything because I wanted to become someone, probably that's the way to say. I didn't want it just to be one in the middle of many. So I worked out and I made all the efforts and all the preparation, which doesn't mean I was running. I decided to become a cave instructor. They asked me a certain amount of cave dives that were a lot more than what is requested by standard, because we were a lot less people and the quality was a lot higher. So I didn't start my cave cavern instructor until I had 100 cave dives. Now with 25, you start. So,
it's a big difference, yeah.
There are some hills that you have to go up to, and there will be some holes that you risk to fall in. But if you are determined and if you really want, there is nothing that can stop you. On Facebook, I wrote a small piece about I don't know if you read it, about when I was a kid I was afraid of darkness. And that was because I was not eating when I was a kid, and the German babysitter put me in a canteen, in a countryside canteen with mice, and I was scared about the noise and the dark. Even if I was not stupid, I was going on top and turning on the light, and when she found out, she put me even more inside of the canteen. So I really didn't like darkness. And when I decided to do this, cave diving, there was only one way to go through this. So if we want something, this is just to say, as I won my fear of darkness, there is nothing that can stop us unless we want to stop. And that's for you. There is no problem in having a fear. We can learn how to control, and it's always a benefit because it's something from which we can learn. So there are obstacles in changing a career, yes. There is the fear of the unknown, yes. But basically we handle what we want to become. So one that rewards me which I realized how it was rewarding only after like a couple of years. I was in America, in Florida, and doing my last part of the cave instructor level, and we were also doing some Trimex instructor level, diver level in the cave. Sorry, we went to this cave which is called the Eagle Nest. We did it with all the planning, everything went fine, but for us was just one of the extra dives in a deep cave we were supposed to do. Later, I was reading an article where it was saying that it was considered the Himalaya of the cave divers. And I was like, I did it! So it was pretty rewarding to find out after that I did something that everybody was like thinking you were like basically a great cave diver if you were doing it. And another one, I was invited to do the Britannica, which is a wreck front of Greece, and the Andrea Doria. And I'm honest, I didn't do them, but I was very proud that they invited me. One, because I'm a woman, and second, because they are two very challenging dives. One, the Andrea Doria, I didn't do it because I was living already in Mexico. The guys were Canadian, they knew me, they invited me. I won the boat captain, that is the last one to say yes, we want a woman on the boat or not, because at the time there was the bad luck of having a woman on the boat for the Andrea Doria, because the first time they had a woman there was a death, and so they said it was due to death. So the captain said yes, but to go there I was supposed to stay, I thought, the best way to do it. And if you drive in the Caribbean and you go to dive the Andrea Doria, you have to be able to dive cold water, lack of visibility, strong current. So the idea was to go for a month in Canada to dive with the group. That was we calculated like around $5,000 US. Then you have other $5,000 for the boat, plus the gases, so around $12,000 the package. And the problem is sometimes at the Andrea Doria you cannot dive because of the bad weather. And so I said, you know something? I'm very proud I was invited.
That's enough.
And that's it. I decided it was worth the invitation. I thanked it and I said, I don't have right now. I was at the beginning also of my career. So I didn't have $12,000 to just put. And I would have not gone without having 1 month experience with the team that I was supposed to go diving, plus with the colder water.
Okay, and when roughly was this?
That was probably 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, yeah.
Would you do it now if they invite you again?
No, 23, so probably 15 years ago.
That's a great question. Would you do it now?
I would, yeah. Because now I have experience in cold water. We went to dive in Canada, and in the Santa Laura River, believe me, there is a long, strong current. We were using the rebreather, so it makes everything a lot more sense.
And you have the $12,000. Okay.
There is a difference between when I started 23 years ago and now. At the time, there were a lot less women in the business. Now there are a lot more women instructor or owners of business. And so I'm not saying it's a bit easier, because the whole community has to face the fact that we are part of it. When I started, mainly in the cave and technical area, they were considering and looking at you like a weird thing coming up. I'm not saying, yes, I'm saying, it was sometimes hard, and sometimes they were trying to stop you. Maybe not even done on really thinking, but like if you had to assist and they could choose between him and me, first it was the one assisting, and then if there was space, I was going. And it happened to me that I was supposed to assist the cave course, and then when I showed up in the morning, they said, no, this guy is going to assist, not you. And I was like, I took 1 week of vacation. Your problem. And my problem was that I decided to finish my cave instructor course in the United States. So I went there and twice for a month and a half, finished intro, and did my full cave instructor. And over there every day we were working, going out to assist, and there was no difference. So I think mainly it was because in the United States they were a lot more used already to the fact that the woman could be part of the male board. And here it was still a small community, so it was more difficult to adapt to the fact that we were entering that world.
Sorry, did this happen with the agencies? The diving agencies support you being a woman?
Well, with the agency they had no problem. When obviously think about a cave association, when they heard that somebody, and a friend of mine came with me, so we were two from Mexico, where we have one of the best caves in the world. Then we left to go to the United States to do the cave instructor instead of doing here. Obviously they asked me why, and I said why. So there was a reminder by the agency to the people that there is no difference between women and men, and that should never happen again, and it never happened again. So my suggestion is to women is don't shut up. Yes, 2 days ago I was to this meeting that I told you, Tamara, and there were some women saying that they had the bullying, and some other they had sexual harassment. So I said, well, I never had, but I also said I'm not like tall and very slim. But we were laughing about that. But the concept is, if it happens, just don't shut up. If somebody at the cenote, why they don't bull with me? Because there is no bullying I will accept. I will not make a scandal in front of customer, but I pick up the guide and put on the sign and say, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Stop, I report you with the other guys or with the cenote or whoever. The respect, you get it because you do not shut up. Politely, but we defend our position, as man has to defend their position. I think there is no difference, and I'm not a feminist. I'm not the one saying that we needed to work in the mind. No intention. I leave that to men. But I think that we can do a job like being a chem instructor with no problem.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your career?
The Andrea Doria. Yeah, maybe the Andrea Doria. Because now I'm 63 and obviously I will not probably go. Because I think there are two reasons. One, everybody tells me it's a lot more destroyed than before, it's falling apart. So there is not anymore that atmosphere. And secondly, because I think you have to, it doesn't mean that being 63 and I'm healthy and I'm strong, I cannot do it. But you have to think, and that's what we discussed with Gaston before and Tamara, you have to consider where and what risk you wanted to accept. And there is a point in life where I've not done it before. There is no problem not to do it now, because it's a lot more strenuous diving that I might want to do. Maybe I'm more interested to do an iced cave dive under an iceberg, or go with the whales and try to dive with them. These are things that attract me now more. The person that gave me, there are various different people. Some like Victor Cordova, who was course director in Dressel Diver. He was my best buddy for all the technical and cave, and I have to thank him for all the knowledge. He was the person that I know, and he's the person I know with the best knowledge in physics, physiology, and everything. For sure, my two course director, who were the one who gave me the standards knowledge. But the person that gave me the most imprinting was Bill Phillips. And sorry. And he was my best friend and my mentor for cave diving.
One teaching you can mention?
Of him?
Yes, there's one.
When you saw him in the water, It was like to see a fish swimming. And I have this always memory of him moving in the water like there was no gravity, nothing. I never seen and never had anybody else moving in the water as him. He was one of the person that had been teaching me how to be safe in the cave. He always told me that there is no reason to go solo diving unless you are exploring sometimes, because that makes it easier sometimes before the exploration. But otherwise, if you don't find the body, wait until the next day and find somebody. For human safety was one of the most important things, and I think one of the things I've been learning very well. And he was a great friend. Unfortunately, he died too early of the cancer. So, my dream is to become a full cave examiner, to do instructors and try to do good instructors. So I, with the permission of Paddy, because I'm a course director, I asked him with the permission, I got it. And I did my crossover for examiner, for Paddy was director to examiner for TDI. I am already an examiner for cavern, so I can do cavern instructor for TDI. And I hope to do these 5 that I need minimum, so that I can become intro and then go up to full cave.